Welcome to the NFC South Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC South. From the best creators in the division, including Atlanta Falcons creator Berto, Carolina Panthers creator Clay, New Orleans Saints creator TJ, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers creator James. Catch the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the NFC South Roundtable YouTube channel. NFC South Roundtable, welcome back into another episode, a holiday episode here brought to you by Roundtable Sports. Great one here in store for you guys today. Probably going to be a little bit of a shorter one. We got a couple of creators out of the mix. Obviously, Clay not going to be here, TJ not going to be here, and we had one guy just show up to the party, Mr. James himself, representing those damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. So much good stuff to get into. In fact, let's start it off with a video that was sent into us from none other than our boy TJ, who he said, he let me know. He was like, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm running away from the Roundtable show tonight just because those Atlanta Falcons ultimately ended up beating us. So he sent me a video he wanted me to play. So let's go ahead and let's play it real quick. Brought to you by none other than RotoWire, of course.
What's going on, NFC South Roundtable fans? What's going on, NFC South fans? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And I apologize that I am not there tonight, but I want to go ahead and clear some things up. I know that y'all whispering, y'all here murmuring, y'all thinking, especially you Atlanta Falcon fans, that I am running from the smoke. The fact that the New Orleans Saints lost to the Atlanta Falcons 24-10, no sir. I'm actually on my way to the Bahamas. I'm on a cruise ship. And as y'all can hear my son in the background, along with some other people, they see some dolphins in the water. We're about to have ourselves a good time. But I wanted to make something very, very clear. First off, shouts out to my guy, Berto. Got bragging rights for a couple weeks, man. Shouts out to my boy James and Clay holding it down like they always do. But this is the main reason why I be going at the necks of the Atlanta Falcons, because they look dominant versus the New Orleans Saints. I mean, it wasn't even close. And this is the reason why I go at y'all, because you have this type of potential. But as of right now, you only have 4 wins on the season. And that's my whole entire point. You have this type of potential, but don't live up to it every single week. And don't worry, man. I mean, y'all won. Congratulations to you, but you'll be right back at the bottom next week. And we already know how this thing gonna go. But congratulations to you. Round of applause, and trust and believe, I will be back next week. All right? So much love to you. Thanks for the concern. But like always, all I got to say is, who dat?
Man, big shout out to our boy TJ, who comes in with a little bit of a video on the cruise. Look, TJ loves AI, so I'm not sure if he's really on a cruise or if, he just punched something into AI there. But nonetheless, man, shout out to our guy TJ. All love. We'll, of course, see him back next week. But let's go around the table. Let's see how these guys are doing. And James, man, I'm really glad that you came to the function, my friend, because I really wanted to ask you, where the heck do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go? It's officially time to panic now, in large part, of course, due to those injuries. But, I mean, Baker Mayfield now goes down. You guys have lost, 3 games in a row? In fact, if the Carolina Panthers won this past week, they would have been at the top of the NFC South, which is obviously not what you want to hear. And so, James, are you officially hitting that panic button?
Not fully. I think that we're almost there, right, in terms of panic. The best part, though, is that they've stopped playing really good football teams. And going forward, the only team they have left to play that does have a winning record is the Carolina Panthers over the next 6 weeks. So there was also some very good positive news regarding Baker Mayfield and his shoulder injury. It is a low-grade sprain, more of a pain tolerance thing at the end of the day, which is good, right? Because if there was going to have a situation where Mayfield was going to be missing some extended time, I mean, your season's over pretty much, right? But thankfully that didn't happen. They have some easier games on their schedule now, more winnable games. Maybe some guys get healthier going forward here. So not fully hitting the panic button just yet, but I do understand if people would certainly be frustrated with how they've been performing the past about month and a half.
Absolutely. Chosen. Let's go on over to you, filling in for us this week. We're absolutely blessed to have you. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Thank y'all for welcoming me here, man. Glad to be here, man, and glad to be a part of this, man. It's a special podcast, a special platform you guys have. I'm a fan, and I tune in weekly, so to be here to fill in for my guy TJ, man, much love and shout out to him and his family, man, having a good time on a cruise ship while I'm here eating crow. But it's all good, man. I wouldn't want to do it no other place, man.
Hey, man, big shout out to our guy Chosen. Now, my thought to you is we obviously know where TJ stands, but what are your thoughts about where the Saints are currently at? Are you kind of in this, I expected more from you in year one of this regime, or are you more on the side of it's year one of a regime, you're not expected to be great?
I don't have no expectations, man. My expectations left along with Dennis Allen, man. And I think that's been a problem with a lot of us. And me personally coming in, man, we had those expectations. And then when they don't work out, you're looking sad or you're upset. But, I mean, what you expect from this team, this is really not a good football team. It's a reason we're in a rebuild. It's a reason our record is what it is. And the Saints have nobody to blame but themselves. They put themselves in a position. They kicked the can down the road. They procrastinated, and they're trying to play catch up. But it's a little too late for that, man. So we have to really hit it in the off season and go back to the drawing board, man, and try it again. But I'm not surprised at all about this team, man. Nowadays, man, nothing surprised me about these Saints, man. So I'm just here for the ride, man. Wherever the wind blow, I'm here.
Hey, man, that's why people always say the cap space, it doesn't matter. It's a fantasy. No, the cap space does matter. You can alter it, but you can only alter it for so long until you're in a position like the Saints have been where you are in negative cap space every single year, and it does hurt your team because you cannot make roster moves. At some point, you got to bite the bullet and have a bad season to prevent several years of being down. But, Berto, let's go down to you, man. Look, you got the win. That's all that matters. Obviously, expectations haven't been high. You get the win, but it feels like you still kind of get bad news even when you're winning. Today, we find out that Michael Penix, maybe that surgery, maybe that injury, a little bit worse than originally thought. You guys potentially moving on from Kirk Cousins in the offseason and are going to be needing to be looking for a starting quarterback because of where that injury and that progress is going to be for, of course, Michael Penix. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, just feel terrible listening to the news that came out today. And I'm just interested to see where this is coming from, because this is nothing that we've heard Raheem Morris talk about, potentially moving on from Michael Penix or looking elsewhere at the quarterback position. So real interesting to see what other details come as the week progress. But nonetheless, man, to the injury, man, it's heartbreaking, right? We invested so much, of course, a top 10 pick in last year's NFL draft, Michael Penix 8th overall. The potential was there. There was teams clamoring for the services of Michael Penix. The New Orleans Saints and the Raiders were two teams that were trying to, jump the Falcons to try and get Michael Penix, but he fell to us. And now, we're dealing with all of this. I just feel bad for the young man. He really robbed himself of, just becoming a better professional. We saw some of these things that hinder him in Washington, in college, and it started to surface now at the pro level. But now with this injury, it puts him back so much further back, man. So I don't know why the team feels like they need to move on from him. Still a controllable contract for a couple more years. But to Michael Penix, man, it sucks to hear news like this that we could potentially be moving on. But more clarity is needed from the team in that regard, and that as far as that news goes.
I have a follow-up question because I've been out of the loop today. What happened? What?
Why are they moving on?
Why are they moving on from Michael?
He was petting his rein. He was petting his reindeer,
bro. I'm sitting here, and Berto's like, "Yeah, it's a shame. They might have to move on from Penix." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
There was a report that came out today that the knee injury obviously worse than it was believed. Obviously, reconstructive surgery and then some. And they feel like it may be time to move on from Penix and Kirk. So it's like, what the hell did that come from? Where the hell did that come from?
He was a top 8 pick.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that throw reports out there, whether they're valid or not. I always wait for team official news to come out and progress from there.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, no, the report was the knee injury to Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. could cause the team to rethink their plans moving forward at the position, says head coach Raheem Morris. With Kirk Cousins likely gone and Michael Penix long rehab ahead, the team will likely add a starting level quarterback into the offseason. Man, look, I know I'm supposed to be
Crazy.
The head coach of the football team came out and was like, "Yeah, dude, might have to move on from Michael Penix. It's crazy.
This is crazy because like he's been talking like, oh, you know, everybody's gonna rally behind the young man and just do that. But now this report comes out. I'm like, when the hell did he say this? When and where did this report come from? So it's like, I don't know.
That's
if
crazy.
It's that JPA report, it's crazy.
Hopefully, that
screenshotted it to make a TikTok.
Hopefully, it doesn't destroy the man's confidence, man. As a young quarterback, he got his whole career ahead of him, man. And this is the last thing he needs. He already dealing with the injury. This is the last thing he needs is something mentally to attack him like this, man. So, man, shout out to Michael Penix, man. I hope we might be rivals right now, but man, it's health, man. These guys, football immortality is thin, so we play football. So, shout out to him, man. I wish him a speedy recovery, man.
Classic, appreciate you.
Berto, man. I feel for you. I feel for every Falcons fan because what an absolute joke the last season and a half has been. I mean, you signed Kirk Cousins in the offseason. He thinks he's going to be your starting quarterback. You think he's going to be your starting quarterback. You give him a bag just to say you're sitting on the bench because we're drafting a quarterback top 10 with our first round pick that we could have used to build around Kirk Cousins, who you just gave a bag to. Now you might be moving on from both of those guys just 2 seasons into to getting both those guys on the team. I mean, what an absolute.
It only gets better. It only gets better for the
Falcons. Can I add a little bit to that? And you guys don't have a first round pick for this draft.
Oh no. We do. Oh no!
Y'all got one?
He's on the field right now, currently tied second in the NFL by rookies and sacks, and James Pierce Jr. Yeah, that means a menace.
I don't care about that pick, but
that's our first round pick.
Can he play quarterback?
Quarterback.
We got Kyle Trask.
Any points?
You know what?
Yeah, well, you know what? He could. Yeah, he almost scored a point against the Patriots there, but. Hey, man, let's go ahead and let's get into the first sponsor of today's video before we get on into these games. That's our good friends over at Sleeper. Use the promo code you see on the screen, RTS, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. I mean, man, just to think, you put down $100. Now you're playing with a free $200, man. No better time to get in on the action than the holiday season to have a little bit of extra fun this football season. Link in the description box below. Again, remember, supporting the sponsors, that supports the channel, supports everybody at the NFC South Roundtable and at Roundtable Sports. I mean, guys, it's the holiday season and half the cast is missing. We just want to talk about life, right? Who's ready for Stranger Things in the comment section? You guys ready? Happy Stranger's Eve, man. Is that what we're calling it now? The night before it releases? James, you feel like a Stranger Things kind of guy. You into that?
Oh yeah, great show.
Yeah,
great show.
Great
dude.
show. Great
I'm
show.
very
We're all
excited.
ready. We are all ready, but now, okay, we'll get back into football. That's what everybody came here for. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams, the game that we just saw. And look, to give to lighten the mood here a little bit for you, James, the Rams are the Super Bowl favorite right now for the NFC. I mean, you have Puka Nacua, who earlier on in the season was talks in the MVP conversation. Stafford is now top 3 in the MVP conversation himself. But these are the types of teams that you are going to have to roll with if you make the postseason, if you do want to have a run, if you do want to potentially make the Super Bowl. And you guys got blown out 34-7. We know injuries played a massive part, but outside of those injuries, what led to this?
I mean, it's one of those games where it's like anybody and everybody that you want to like point the finger at and, blame and be like, hey, this is part of the reason of why we lost. It's accurate, right? Like, did the players not execute? No, they didn't execute at all. I mean, Zion McCollum got absolutely crushed by Devontae Adams in this game. That was embarrassing. Was it the coaching staff? Yeah, it was part of the coaching staff too. They were getting coached, in circles by Sean McVay and Chris Shula over there in Los Angeles. Was it the front office? Yeah, part of it's the front office too. Right now, the Bucs have themselves at a pretty thin roster in terms of depth at key areas. They've been more reactionary instead of proactive, which has caused them to have such a high level of thinness at their respective rosters. So this was just a complete organizational collapse. There's no way to put it. Look, the Bucs have lost 4 out of their last 5. And when you look at the teams they lost to, Detroit, New England, Buffalo, Los Angeles, yeah, those are all really, really good football teams.
Oh, yeah.
But we've been talking about it for a month and a half now, right? Where this is a team that, look, when they're fully healthy and they get you know, some of these players back, they're a good team. They are nowhere near a great team at this point. Because guess what? If you do go into the playoffs, and I still believe this team will probably end up winning the division, making the playoffs, especially now that they have a little bit of an easier schedule. Guess what? You are probably going to have to run into a San Francisco 49ers or Seattle Seahawks in round number 1. Thankfully, you've already beaten those teams. But if you make it to round 2, you're probably going to have to play the Eagles again. You're probably going to have to play the Rams or the Lions again. Dude, you ain't beating one of those teams. You're just not. So on one hand, while it is like easy to lean on and be like, well, you know, all of these key players are hurt and whatnot. I mean, look, good teams, again, it was the same argument earlier in the year whenever we said that they were winning games, and now whenever they're losing games, look, good teams find ways to win games. Great teams find ways to win games and beat fellow great teams, at least on a semi-consistent level. And we just haven't seen that with the Bucs this year. You know, they have a good wins against Seattle and San Francisco. That Houston win's looking a little bit better earlier on in the year, but their inability to beat these great football teams just shows that this team has a very, very clear ceiling, right? Which is like, again, hey, they're a good football team, probably a team that can, you know, still make it into the playoffs, make it into the first round, maybe even get by in the first round, but that's it. And it is what it is, dude. You know, it's disappointing losses here. The argument the past month and a half has been, well, hey, it's a good team, right? Those are some great teams that the Bucs played. But it's getting worse from like, well, hey, shucks, at least they were competitive, to, oh gosh, now they're getting blown out, right? And I understand the Rams are a great, great football team. Like you said, Colby, favorites to win the Super Bowl. Stafford's a beast. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kieran Williams, Kobe Turner. You know, they got all these guys, right? But the great teams are still able to compete. And right now, that's just not what the Bucs are. Going forward, you know, playing some easier games. Hope the guys get healthier. I think Bucky Irving might be back this upcoming week, which should help out in regards to that offense. Godwin will hopefully be a little bit healthier this upcoming week as well. But yeah, to say that, you know, this game was an absolute embarrassment and an organizational collapse on primetime football is not a far-fetched thing to say at all.
Absolutely. Let's go on over to you, Chosen. What were your thoughts on watching the downfall of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game?
Well, man, I feel like Tampa, man, is way much better than what was on display. We understand the circumstances what Tampa's going through. Yeah, they got a couple guys out, and they didn't put on his best performance. And the Rams, man, at home, that's a tough crowd. That's a tough team to play. When you get the Rams at home, man, primetime game, Sean McVay, those guys really getting those bags, man. Matt Stafford, he getting his bag. I mean, we're talking about a guy right now that's 27 straight touchdowns with no interceptions, man. That is insane, right? And Puka Nacua clicking. You got D. Adams on the other side cooking. Man, these guys are just going crazy. You know what I'm saying? These guys are going crazy. And I feel like the run game, I mean, the Rams was just dominant the entire game. There's nothing really Tampa really could have done, man. It was kind of, I hate to say over for a starter, but I mean, it was they dominated all three phases of the game. And when you going in and you playing a team like that, man, with the Rams, those guys are Super Bowl contenders, they're playoff contenders, they in the hunt, they're in the conversation every year. They are going to capitalize on a wounded Bucs team like that. You know, I don't feel like if they was to play again, maybe the Rams win again, but I feel like it'll be a much better fight if the Bucs were to have all their pieces. I believe in Baker. I've been a fan of Baker. The fight, the willpower with this guy, he's another guy that gets better every week, and he goes back and he always got something to prove. He always plays with that chip on his shoulder. Mike, just imagine if you to get Mike Evans back and all those guys, man, and everybody clicking and rallying together. But that game, man, it was pretty much kind of over for it started, man. You at the Rams, they're running the ball, they're averaging greater over 15 yards of play. They just doing it, man, and really, man, that game really was just out of pocket. But I can't say this though, man. Tampa should not hang their head low, man. That is a team that's going to be, like you said, we talking about them maybe going to the Super Bowl. They possibly can make it to the Super Bowl, or at least make a deep playoff run. The Rams is always that team that when you beat, man, you should never hold your head high to, especially a team like Tampa that's fighting to prove for themselves and represent this division. And also, like I said, you guys wounded. You don't. I hate to try to make an excuse, but you guys are wounded. And I feel like if you guys was to play them again, I feel like it'll be a better game on a playing field. With you got your best guys, they got their best guys, and see where the results may lay there. But like I said, man, Rams that's just one of those teams, man. You if you beat them, you're happy. If you don't, you're like, damn, I could have got them. But like I said, that's a superior team, man. And Tampa's gonna be all right. I'm rooting for Tampa since my team ain't getting it. We gotta represent as well, man. So I'm looking for Tampa to get back in it, man, and turn things around. But nah, they shouldn't. I'm gonna answer for you, James. No, you shouldn't hit the panic button, brother. I know it seemed like tough times ahead, but you can easily be one of your other division mates right about now. So you really good, homie. So just keep doing your thing, man. And yeah, Tampa gonna be all right. Let's let them heal and recoup. That they'll be all right, man.
Who knows? Maybe those Carolina Panthers representing the NFC South in the playoffs. Only time will tell. Probably not, though, but only time will tell. Let's go down to you, Berto. What are your thoughts on this game to wrap us up?
Why not the Falcons? I mean, we're about to go on this massive win
All
streak.
right,
and you're over here.
All right.
I was,
you know, here we go. Come on,
we was
man.
having a moment.
You don't even know what
quarterback you have right now. Come on, son.
Moments. I don't want no one having them up now, but no, like everybody has been saying on the panel, man. Had the Buccaneers been 100%, this would have been the game of the week. This would have been the primetime game of the year. These are two tough NFC rivals, excuse me. The Rams and Bucks, two great teams, man. But it's just the Rams are a buzzsaw on offense, man. Sean McVay, he's a mastermind, man. Did you know that he actually had Puka Nacua run a route through the C gap? That's shit that is like unheard of. The way that he does his route concepts, the way he orchestrates that offense is just, he's far beyond, offensively than anybody is on the defense or even on his side of the field offensively. So, the Rams are just a complete team. And unfortunately, Tampa Bay just ran into that buzzsaw. But I did call this a couple weeks ago, man. If y'all remember, I mean, James, you weren't here. Evan filled in for you. I said, this is going to be a very interesting stretch of games for the Buccaneers. This is going to tell us who the Buccaneers really are. They wind up being pretenders or contenders. Right now, you guys are on that fence, in my opinion. But, I would like to see this Tampa Bay Buccaneers play this Rams team when it's fully healthy. Maybe you guys could get your lick back in the playoffs. Maybe not.
I mean, I would argue they're not pretenders or contenders because, I mean, I think the expectations now is like, well, obviously they're not contending for a Super Bowl, and I don't even think it's worth pretending that they're going to be in the chance to compete for a Super Bowl. I mean, at this point, I think you just, hey, let's just get into the playoffs and get into the dance at that point, and I think that's where people's expectations should firmly be.
You're the injures. That's it. That's all you are.
Yeah.
Not contender, not pretender. You're the injures. That's it.
That's
well,
true.
guys, let's go ahead and let's get on into the next game. Now, obviously, this is neither of anybody's teams that are here right now, but we can quickly glance across this game, guys. Just give your quick re-thoughts on this. Last night's game, Carolina Panthers lose to the San Francisco 49ers 20-9. A game that you felt like the Carolina Panthers certainly should have been in, but their offense was absolutely inept. I mean, Brock Purdy throwing several interceptions, but yet still the 49ers were able to come away with this win. James, let's start off with you. What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, this was a game that, quite frankly, the Panthers could have won. I mean, Brock Purdy in the first half had 3 interceptions. I mean, really bad stuff there from Purdy, and the Panthers just never capitalized. Bryce Young had a Berto lying jar.
Go back. Man, it's on wax, man. It is on wax. I called it. God damn it.
But this was a game where, look, like the Panthers had their moments to take advantage and win this football game, and they just didn't. Bryce Young looked really bad again, and it's something we've all talked about here, and even Clay's talked about, where the inconsistency, not just with Bryce Young, but the Panthers as well, is a miserable time. It reminded me of, I made the comparison to Jameis Winston, but I mean, at least Jameis Winston was giving you a lot of yards and touchdowns, right? I mean, with the Bryce Young, it's like, hey, one week he's going to throw 250 plus yards and a couple of touchdowns. The next, it's like barely getting over 150 yards, 1 touchdown and a couple of picks, right? And we saw that this week. The Panthers and their inconsistency is something that I think is just going to plague them the rest of the year. It's one of the reasons why I feel the Bucs are still probably going to win the NFC South, just because the Panthers have this inconsistency. They have this lack of being able to capitalize on opportunities, finish games and whatnot. And we saw that in full swing here in a game that they really could have and should have won against the 49ers. So very, very disappointing in my opinion for the Panthers.
Absolutely, especially when you add the fact that if they won this game, and they should have won this game, they would have been at the top of the NFC right now, and so could have been in the running, but you shoot yourselves in the foot. Chosen, let's go on over to you. What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, I just thought that Carolina didn't want it, man. Like they if they did, they sure didn't play like it. I mean, you had every opportunity in the world, just like we did, man. But we'll get into that. But they had every opportunity in the world to score and take over this game, and it's just something was telling them no. Like, no, you the Panthers. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's crazy, man. And then on the other end, man, I got to give 49ers some credit too, man. C-Mac was going crazy. He's running the ball. You got all these guys running the ball, man. You have you have all these offensive weapons that's going against Carolina, and then you have the inconsistent play with Bryce Young, man. And you look at it last week, they're playing like world beaters, but this week, it's like who the hell are these guys? Like, okay, we're back to the Panthers that we know. And like y'all said, man, it's just not capitalizing on turnovers. You had opportunities early. If you got, and that's a team that you have to jump on. When you're playing a team like the 49ers or the Rams or the Lions, any NFC or AFC contender that could possibly go deep in the playoffs, you have to capitalize on their mistakes because they'll make you pay for it in the end. You can't give these guys second chances because they are great teams. They don't make mistakes often like that, not consistent. So when you catch them slipping or you catch them slacking, you got that knockout punch, boom, you got to go for it because if not, they're gonna come back and they own you all night, man. So Carolina, man, they just got to learn from it and go back and regroup, man, and just understand that this is a superior team. And when you can't let opportunities pass you by when you're playing a great team like that, because they will not give you that many opportunities as well. I'm surprised they had that many opportunities that early in the half like that, and especially with Brock Purdy being out and trying to get back in the swing of things. So I'm just looking at it like, man, Carolina, man, y'all had opportunity. It's no excuse. You had it for the grab. So I don't want to hear no opportunity or no chance, no excuses. Y'all was there, and you just didn't want it bad enough. That's what it came down to, man. They didn't want it bad enough.
Well, let's go down to you, Berto. Wrap us up with this game. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, this is, I believe, the 10th time that Bryce Young has been held under 200 yards passing, man. So clearly, man, I think right now, this is an indicator that Bryce Young is not him. You know, if he's not playing the Falcons, he's not giving you great stats, and you can't play the Falcons every week. And that's a fact. 1 TD, 2 INTs, and they failed to run the ball, man. They have a bread and butter with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard, only rushed for a combined 69 yards. So Dave Canales also comes into question with his play calling style. Yeah, the 49ers are playing with the replacements, you can say, man. There's second, third, and fourth stringers on that defense, no household names, and they couldn't get anything going. And that was, and also credit the Carolina Panthers defense, J.C. Horn and the other cornerback there. They were giving the offense chances to come in, and just Bryce couldn't get over the hump, man. He just couldn't get it done. So overall, this loss is on Carolina. Like Chosen said, they didn't want it. Clearly didn't want it. Prime opportunity to be, take the stake as the number one in NFC South, and they failed to do that. So you got to look, that's on. You got to look at Dave Canales and Bryce Young at that.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's go ahead and let's get into the next game, the big in-division game of the week. We know how this one ultimately went. We've seen Berto's face all episode long. The Atlanta Falcons win 24-10, man. Let's start off with you, Berto. You are the winner. There hasn't been many times where we've been able to kick it to you first, but we're going to do that now. No disrespect. I'm just calling it like it is. So let's head over to you, Berto. How are you guys able to get a big in-division win?
Oh, man, it's a game that was much needed on the Falcons front, right? With everything unraveling before our very eyes, 5-game losing streak, and we were able to go down to New Orleans and get the W. And some people may call it a statement win, but I think it's just a team win overall. This Falcons team, like I mentioned, sorely needed that. This offense looked a whole lot different than when Michael Penix was in, and with Kirk Cousins running this offense under center predominantly throughout the game, just really showed that this Falcons team can still hang with Kirk Cousins. I know it was a bad New Orleans Saints team that we beat. I get it. That team is in the midst of a rebuild. There's a lot of, plug-in players on that defensive side, but still, you got to capitalize on what's on the field. Kirk Cousins was able to do that. Darnell Mooney for the Falcons he finally came out with an explosive 49-yard touchdown on that weak secondary for the Saints, and Kirk just gained confidence, quarter in and quarter out, and which is a bright spot for the Falcons. Obviously, the run game also got back running. in full motion. Bijan had well over 100 all-purpose yards, and combined with he and Tyler Algier rushed for well over 130 plus yards. That's the key to Atlanta getting their passing game going and everything else. It's the run game. You rely on Bijan the right way and Tyler, good things happen in the pass game. But onto the defense that was absolutely cooking on Sunday, man. Getting the contributions from our rookies, man. James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker both finished with sacks. Ruka finished with a sack. Xavier Watts called game with that game-sealing INT. But there was a return of a certain player, and that's Divine Diablo, man, who returned to the Falcons after missing the last month of football with a broken forearm. Just came in and entirely settled down this entire defense. Albrecht got back to doing what he likes to do best, and which is get after the football, send pressure, 5-man fronts. And it was because of Divine and his coverage ability on the back end as a linebacker. Caden Ellis, went back to his normal role of rushing the passer, which was lost in previous weeks because he was asked to do too much from that linebacker spot with nobody really up to par to play next to him. This was a great victory by the Falcons, man. We went down to New Orleans and took one right from the enemy, and right now we got bragging rights, man. We're up on the series, the all-time series right now. So, man, I'm good, man. I'm chilling right now, Chopper style.
Well, let's go over to the other half of this game, and let's kick this one to Chosen. Chosen, what happened in this one, man? Obviously an opportunity for you guys to win the game, but it didn't go that way.
Man, we had not just that opportunity, several opportunities, man. And that's the most frustrating part about it. Just like Carolina, man, we didn't want it. We didn't want it. Several times you get in the end zone. First off, we start off on the first drive. We start off with a fumble. What the hell was that? Alvin Kamara and Tyler Shuck, man, they got to get a better connection on that. That's Kamara like third fumble this year, so I can't ignore that. Also, man, the soft coaching, bro, man. You at home, you down, you on the road. I mean, not on the road. You at home, but you down. You got a losing record, man. 4th and 1. Why is we still punting? Why is we giving the ball back, man? We treating this like we playing Madden online, man. We ain't no punting. We all 4 down territory till we get it, man. You got to get a spark. You got to let these men know that you believe in them, that you got your back, man. Also, man, we need to Cesar Ruiz need to get the hell out of here. Blake Grupe, he need to get the hell out of here, man. You missing kicks, and you're not just missing kicks that's just extra points or chip shots, man. You missing pivotal, game-changing picks. These are game-changing and defining kicks that he's missing, bro. We leaving too much meat on the bone. Pause. We leaving too much on the bone, man. When we get down to the red zone, man, we were coming away. We was in the red zone 3 times and only come away with 6 points, man. Come away with 6 points. You gotta capitalize on that. The records go out the door when you play in a division game. Atlanta came in hungry. They saw what opportunity. They saw what was on the line, and they fought for it. New Orleans laid down and laid an egg, man. Unacceptable. Kellen Moore, I'm starting to be out on him as a coach, man. He's starting to coach scared. He's not making these right decisions. He's not getting these guys prep. Bad execution. Tyler Shuck played his ass off, man, but he just got let down for some type of way, man. Defense did what they can do to keep us in this game. Defense played a hell of a game to try to keep the offense afloat, and the offense get in these positions, man. We flip the field. We get good field position, man, and we can't come away with no points, bro. That's been a story not all season, but leading back to the last couple seasons, man. We struggling with the red zone. We've been struggling when we struggled when we had we started with Andy Dalton, and then the struggle when we had Derek Carr. Not so much with Jameis Winston, but we struggled in that red zone, man. You have Devon Vele balling out, positive yards every time he makes a play. Something happens, some big play happened. Only with the 3-4 catches he had, they still was big plays and they was pivotal moments, man. Why aren't you using him in the red zone? Why aren't you using some of these big guys in the red zone, man? You instead of using Taysom Hill, everybody and their mama know what Taysom Hill about to do. When Taysom Hill line up, we know one move. He's about to run it in the hole or run it on the outside. Taysom Hill is not that no more, man. The injuries pile up. Go back to using him on the outside. Mix it up. Hell, put him in the slot. Run a wildcat. What the hell happened to the wildcat? But you're using Taysom Hill wrong, man. You can't keep running the power to the right or power to the left. You already know what's happening. You see Taysom Hill line up behind center, you're going to see a motion. And once that motion come, that snap going to come about 2-3 seconds later, boom, he running. Even I know that. Watch it from my TV, man. I seen it happen way too many times. Predictable play calling, bro. Predictable play calling, and not holding none of these players accountable. But as of today, with the news breaking, they released Blake Grupe. Finally, they released Blake Grupe. But it took hell and high water for y'all to get in this position, man. He should have been gone. There's no excuse. I'm not giving them a pat on the back for that. This organization loves to play catch up. They love to procrastinate, and it happened. And it cost you another game. It cost you another division game. I'm not saying if we would have won this game, anything would have been different. But I mean, we want to beat the Falcons, but you're not beating nobody if you're not holding no players accountable. If you're not getting the best out of these guys, you're not coming up with a better enough game plan to put on display your players' strongness versus their weakness. You're showing everything out there, man. Like the play calling is ridiculous, the execution is ridiculous. And it's unacceptable, man. You're not going to win many games, if any games in this league, when you got a football team like the Saints playing like this, man. It's been the same old song and dance all year. Piss poor performances, a lack of accountability from the front office, man. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Who's going to be that person to step up and say, I want it? Who's going to step up and say, I make a difference? And I'm not just talking players. I'm talking about front office. It starts at the top. These players are not going to respect nothing because you don't have any leadership enforcing the respect. When I hate to keep bringing up, but when Sean Payton was here, he demanded respect. Drew Brees demanded respect. He commanded the huddle. I'm not trying to say knock on Tyler Shuck because he's a rookie. I believe he does possess those qualities. And I believe he could be a good starter and he can win some games for us in this league. But the front office has to put nice pieces around him. You got to give him playmakers. You can't give him a team full of Rashid Shaheeds and Chris Olaves. Now, that's not knock at them, but we need dogs. We need big dogs. We need dogs that can make 50-50 balls. Vele was doing that for us, and you stopped going to him. What happened to the screen pass with Alvin Kamara? You stop doing what we fell in love with. Stop running Kamara up the middle, man, like he Derrick Henry or somebody. That's not his game. He can do it sometimes, but what happened to the sweeps, the tosses, man, the counters, the reverses? Get flashy. What you got to lose? But they beat themselves all the time, man. This team is not disciplined. This team deserves to be 2-9, and the Falcons, man, y'all deserve to have y'all day or have y'all week because y'all showed up because these Saints sure as hell didn't, man. So that's what I take away from this game. And if something don't change, man, in the front office or anytime soon, then we can expect this for more seasons to come, man.
Absolutely, man. Big shout out to Chosen, who went on a beautiful rant there. Everything he did say, I think, is very, very valid about where the current state of the Saints is. James, let's go on over to you. Wrap us up with this game. What were your thoughts from an outside divisional standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a game that the Saints could have won, but just their, again, lack of offensive efficiency, lack of just playmakers on both sides of the ball cost them at the end of the day. Chris Olave had some nice moments, Juwan Johnson, but as soon as Alvin Kamara basically was out of the game, the Saints offense did absolutely nothing, right? And I still believe the Falcons have some issues offensively, like the passing game still isn't blowing me away. Kirk Cousins did protect the football a pretty decent amount. He did have that one interception, though. They obviously missed Drake London. That's a big factor in this as well. So kudos to Darnell Mooney for getting a long reception. I know Berto still ain't sold on Zach Robinson. That's
hell no.
That is for
not
sure.
Even a little bit.
Man, if this ends up where the Falcons do win enough games for Raheem Morris to keep his job, which may still be possible, we'll see. Especially with the injury to Michael Penix, like that's a pretty big crutch, I guess, that they can lean on, so to speak, for why the record is what it is. It's going to be because of this defense. Because, man, I think this defense is really darn good in terms of just bringing down the quarterback, getting pressure, just doing what they need to do at the end of the day. So, overall, look, the Falcons were just the better team. Not necessarily surprising, given where the Saints are right now. The Saints just let this one slip away. They just need to build up a better roster, and maybe they will with time. Maybe they won't. We'll see for the Falcons. They're honestly it's a bittersweet thing because it's like, yeah, we won. That's awesome. But what's going on at quarterback now, as we talked about at the beginning of this show, which is just like, hey, we won. That's cool. But also, what's happening?
Yeah.
So
I think the Saints did something wrong, man. At the trade deadline, they should have looked at the assets that they have. Guys like Chase Young, who's playing phenomenal, coming back from that neck injury. Alvin Kamara as well. These guys you can still sell high on, in order to rebuild or properly rebuild and acquire more talent, you got to look at your roster from within. And those two guys could have probably landed you day 2, day 3 picks, man. And it just helps you guys in that front office to make better decisions as the draft rolls around next season.
But before you get to that 699, Kobe, I want to make this statement, man. When Berto, you're right, man. But the way this, like we stay on the state of the Saints podcast, man. I'm sure TJ probably told you this. Our team is ran like a mom and pop shop. It really is, man. Like too many nice guys, too many relationships, and like I love Alvin Kamara. I know what he brings, but you're right. He should have been traded, not because I don't want him here, but because it's a business. I know what the value he would bring. Alvin Kamara is not going to be a Saint forever. Physically, what I mean, he's not going to be able to wear that uniform forever. At some point, we're going to have to part ways with Alvin Kamara, whether that's in a free agency or a trade or him retiring. He's not going to play for the Saints forever. And these Saints, us Saints fans, man, sometimes we have an alliance to players over the business. We hang on to these players and we hate to see them go, even if they're not benefiting the team no more. We just love to say that they're in the black and gold or they represent playing for our favorite team. You have to be a fan of the team, not the player, so to speak. It's okay to root for this guy, but I am a Saints fan first. I'm not a Cam Jordan fan. I'm not a Drew Brees fan. I'm not an Alvin Kamara fan or Chris Olave. I am a New Orleans Saints fan. So that means whoever put on that black and gold for my team, I'm rooting for them. I wish these other guys well wherever they go, but at the end of the day, the Saints are going to be around longer than these players are, man. And we have to learn how to cut off the personal feelings and see the bigger picture. And that's what the Saints fella do, man, from the front office on down, man. And it's starting to show. It's starting to show.
Absolutely, man. Big shout out to Tom Brady, Berto's favorite $7 donation, says, got back from my cruise. I will book nut houses next, followed by Europe cruises. Oh, that's a sentence. My favorite part was telling the Atlanta fans 28-3, greatest game. We're back. 28-3, Berto. 28-3. Every week, man. Every week you're going to be listening to that from Mr. Tom Brady himself. But big shout out to the second sponsor. Oh, well, it's not TJ. It's not TJ. So let's get rid of that. I almost forgot I had that up. Big shout out to the second sponsor of the channel over at RotoWire. Talked about RotoWire in the offseason, how you can dominate your fantasy leagues. Now we're telling you how you can make sure that you win your parlays, your player props, making sure you're winning money and not losing money. RotoWire every single week is going to tell you guys they like you to take the over on and the under on. For example, they want you to take the over on DeMario Douglas receiving yards of 13.5 in the Patriots game against the Giants. I absolutely love that one. They also want you to take the over on DJ Moore receiving yards, 32.5, but they want you to take the under on Tua passing yards at 222.5 and Ramondre the under on rushing yards, wow, at 29.5. So you can get in on this and so much more over at RotoWire. And because you're watching Roundtable Sports, we got an exclusive offer for you of 15% off when you use promo code RTS. Get in on the discount right now because it won't be there forever, and you are going to make that money back just like that. Link in the description box below, man. Big shout out to Greg, who comes in with a $5 donation and says, Aints are a toilet team and a lawn with the Panthers. Bryce Young ain't shit, man. I feel like he shows moments he is, and then he comes back and he's inconsistent. So certainly an uphill battle for him. But let's talk week 13, fellas, before we log on off for the day and send everybody on to their holiday week. Let's start off here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Arizona Cardinals, who are 3-8. James, earlier on today, you alluded to the fact that this was an easier schedule for the remainder of the season for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gotta think this is a game you have to get right in, correct?
Do you know how happy I am that I don't have to see them? Yeah. Do you know how happy I am? I don't have to see them play the Bills, the Patriots, the Rams, whoever else they had to play that. Yeah. Like that just crushed them. Look,
unless you lose, James.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to, it's possible. It is obviously it's always possible. Right. And obviously there is in no way, shape or form a guarantee that it's not 100% guaranteed that the Bucs will go out there and win this game, but I'm just happy that this is an easier football game to win than those previous games, right? Look, the Cardinals are a team that is still trying to figure some stuff out. Kyler Murray isn't there. Jacoby Brissett has been up and down as the starting quarterback of the Cardinals. And they've got some good pieces, but it just seems like they're just a little bit away, right? In terms of what they can be right now. So, I do have the Bucs winning this game. I think Bucky Irving coming back will be huge. I think that Chris Godwin, getting healthier for the second week in a row will be big as well. We don't know if it's going to be Baker Mayfield or Teddy Bridgewater starting in this game. I believe it's probably going to be Baker Mayfield because right now it's been deemed a pain tolerance thing as to whether or not Mayfield will or won't be able to play. So hopefully they give him this whole week to rest up and everything. And, you know, if Reddick's back, you know, that'd be a huge boost to the defense as well. But I just think the Buccaneers will be able to get a win in this game. And move on to 7-5. If they fall to 6-6, Colby, that is the point where I will hit the panic button because at that point, like they might not even win the division. So,
oh, poor James, man. Thinking about even hitting that panic button must be absolutely just diabolical when early on in the season. You guys will look like Super Bowl favorites, man. I'm just saying. But let's go on over to you, Chosen. What do you think about this game?
Man, just to piggyback off James, man, I don't see the Bucs losing this one. I don't see them dropping this one. They lost this one already this week. They're gonna be looking to come back to avenge, and they're gonna be a scary team. They're gonna get some guys back, get a couple players healthy, some key pieces back early, and they're gonna make sure that they do what they got to do, man, to try to take back over this division. Well, to secure this division and secure their spot in the playoffs, man. Arizona ain't really got much, man. I haven't been following them too much this season, man. But outside of Kyler Murray and Marvin Harris Jr., man, that hookup, they're gonna need more. They in themselves are in a bit of a kind of rebuilding, trying to figure things out and get things underway. I feel like it's a little too late in the season. They're gonna give it the old college try, man. But Tampa not gonna allow that to happen, man. I just don't see Tampa coming out dropping this one, especially after what happened this week, man. So I feel like Tampa gonna get back on it. They're gonna move up, man. They're gonna win. They're gonna improve, and they're gonna have a nice little stride on the way, man. The schedule is not too hard for them, so luckily that's good there, man. But I got a feeling that they're gonna hit their stride, man, get back on it, and I just can't wait for it. Now, if they do drop this game, which I'll be surprised, man, I highly doubt it, but is any given Sunday. So if they do drop this game right now, man, and yeah, man, I would say it's definitely time to panic because you got bigger fish to fry come playoff time, and you ain't getting out the first round if you losing to the likes of an Arizona Cardinals team. So I think the Bucs gonna be all right, man. They'll get it done.
All right, Berto, wrap us up with this game. Who you taking?
I'm going with the upset. Give me the Arizona Cardinals. I think Jacoby Brissett can still do. Hey, you asked, and I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals will upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's it. They're going to play the spoilers this week. So, James, panic button.
I think Berto's just projecting.
Hell no, I'm not projecting. I'm calling actual facts.
Well, Berto, you're going to be called a hater if you're wrong, but if you're right, you are going to be called an absolute genius. Fellas, let's real quick.
I'm still going to be called a hater.
Yeah, you're right. You probably are still going to be called a hater either way.
You know what's crazy? If they do, if Cardinals somehow do, we'll never end up in Humberto.
Nah, but you got to put respect on Berto's name if he ends up being right. But guys, let's go ahead and let's scan across this game real quick. Carolina Panthers, the Rams. Obviously, none of us are Clay. None of us cover the Panthers. And let's be honest, we just saw this same Rams team put BTA on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm not sure what exactly we're expecting in this one. James, what are your thoughts?
Well, firstly, Colby, I heard, if you want to go back to the 4-box real quick, I heard that me and the guys here were getting overtime for doing Clay's previews and reviews and whatnot. That's the word.
I like the way you think, man.
That's an hour, baby. A penny an hour.
That's what I heard. So, still waiting for that holiday bonus. But
me too.
So anyway, this is going to be quite the game. The Rams are going to win. Look, they're probably the best team in football right now. They're so freaking good. And we just saw San Francisco beat up on Bryce Young, really make her miserable. I think that we're going to see the exact same thing, but worse. I really do. I don't see this game being close at all. I see it being very similar to the Bucs game, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, let me get the Rams in this one.
What if the Panthers lose, but they keep it close? How will you feel?
I mean, it would just be the most confusing thing in the world.
So that's exactly what's going to happen because that is the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, probably.
Let's go on over to you, Chosen. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, of course, man. Obviously, I got the Rams winning, but I got Carolina playing a tad bit better than what they did, man. At the end of the day, these guys are professionals, and they're gonna want to try to fight and try to prove that they're not as bad as they are, which we know they are. But you know what I'm saying? It's the mentality of these guys, man. These guys are athletes. These guys are competitive. This is the NFL for a reason, man. Any given Sunday, I don't think they'll win, but I definitely feel like that Carolina will put on a better showing. But I still think that the Rams is going to be entirely too much for them, obviously, and they gonna beat them. But I don't think Carolina gonna look as bad in this loss as they did last week, man.
All right, I like it. Short, simple, sweet, to the point, hits on everything. Berto, wrap us up with this one. I feel like I know who you're going to take, but I thought you were also going to take the Bucs last time, so take the upside again.
No, man. Yeah, man. This is gonna be the quintessential belt to ass game right here, man. And with the Panthers, they're now going with some backup O linemen. Chandler Zavala went down. I think Caden Mays or something like that. Their center. He's a backup who's filling in right now. And you got to contest against Kobe Turner, Bryant Young, and Jared Verse. That defense is gonna make life miserable for that midget in Carolina, man. So give me the Rams convincingly, please.
To wrap us up here with the Carolina Panthers, Greg comes back in here with the $5 donation, man. Shout out to Greg, who says, Panthers fans keep pounding your head into the wall. Y'all too delusional if y'all are going to beat the Rams. Man, that certainly would be a crazy, crazy upset. But let's go ahead, Berto. You guys are coming off of a win. The New York Jets are, well, they're the New York Jets. They're jetting. You obviously don't got Justin Fields here. They made the quarterback change this past week there with Tyrod Taylor. Feels like they got better in the passing game. They got 2 new wide receivers with Garrett Wilson still not back, but they lost a lot in the rushing attack when they did make that switch. And so going up against a top 3 defensive unit in Atlanta, what are you expecting to happen in this one?
Oh, we're going on a run.
Yeah, I gave you some love.
I'm going on a run. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll be at this game. If anybody in the chat is going to the Jets and Falcons game, I highly recommend that everybody does. I'm going to MetLife, brother. I'll be there. Oh yeah, I'm in the second row, man. For me, 3 hours and 40 minutes.
That's actually not. That sounds bad as I thought. All right, that's not bad.
Nah, man. So I will be there to be front and center for an ass whipping. The Falcons are going to take this one. This is a Jet secondary that still does not have an INT, and with Kirk Cousins getting back under center for the Falcons and getting KJ Osborne on this roster for the Falcons, giving Kirk some of his favorite targets from Minnesota, I think could play some major dividends this week. So I look for this Falcons passing offense to pick up a notch. And if we can steamroll like we did last week against the Saints in the run game, I can see this as a complete beatdown of the New York Jets. Sorry, Richie, but I see my Falcons winning convincingly in this one.
I didn't know you guys got KJ Osborne. I remember when he signed with the Patriots in the 2024 offseason, you had Kirk Cousins say that that's actually one of the best wide receivers he's played with, but he didn't produce more because he was on a team with Jordan Addison and Jay Jettas. And so it's actually a really good addition there for you guys.
It is.
I like that one. I like that one. James, what do you think about this?
I'm going to take the Jets in this one. No, I'm joking.
You had me for a minute there.
I was about to say, James, you know something we don't know, bro. I'm going to ride with you, James.
James is a true insider.
No. Yeah, right. I got the script at the beginning of the year. No, the Jets suck, dude. I mean, no offense to Richie. He knows that. I see his videos every week. He knows they suck.
I don't know. He took them to win this game.
Well, you know what? It's good. It's good to have hope in your team. You know, it's good to have hope in your team, but the Jets are going to lose this one. I mean, look, they traded all their good guys. I still don't really believe in Aaron Glenn too much. And this offense is just really bad. I mean, really bad. So I think that the Falcons are going to win. I agree with Berto. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a very close game. And I think the Falcons win pretty handedly. So, yeah, let me get the Falcons for this one.
All right, Chosen, wrap us up with this one. Are you also going to take the Falcons?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons, man, based on, and it's really just because, man, not just so much because we know what the Jets are. It's just so much, man. The Falcons have it, man. Like, the Falcons have the right pieces. They do. They got the playmakers. They got the guys in the building. They just need, well, the coaching could be, we know what the coaching is. But even Berto agreed with that with the coach.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, the Falcons got it, bro. And like TJ said in the video, man, that's what's so frustrating about it. That's why we clown y'all, but because y'all can have it and it still don't mesh. But I don't see y'all losing to the Jets, man. If y'all lose to the Jets, even though y'all beat us, we take that loss back. Y'all don't get to talk about us no more.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact. That's a
the
clear
Jets
fact,
are
bro.
unloading. They trading away pieces, man. Justin Fields is looking. I don't know, man. It's bad, brother. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's a bad, sad day to be a Jets fan, man. But they're gonna get coverage. They're in that big market, so they got that going for them. But other than that, man, Atlanta got this, man. Atlanta's gonna take over. They're gonna win convincingly. It's not even gonna be close. It's not even gonna be funny. Atlanta gonna go in there and just BTA and come on home and try to repeat again next week, man. But yeah, man, that's gonna be one to look at if you're an Atlanta fan.
Dude, it's been sad to be a Jets fan for like 25 years. It's kind of crazy. But let's go ahead and let's get into this final games chosen. We want to kick this one off to you because you are playing the Miami Dolphins, who are now 4-7, and they've dealt with a lot of injuries, but they've gained a little bit of momentum, played a lot of bad teams, and that's in large part why. But obviously, your New Orleans Saints struggling. What do you think about this one?
Man, the Dolphins been quietly winning, man, and trying to get that stride and trying to go out with a bang, man. You still got a profit team over there, man. You still got those guys over there. I got the Saints. I think I got us losing that one, man. I'm not gonna lie. After what I seen last week, man, I think that we still gonna deal with some things. We're gonna deal with some inconsistency. I think that we gotta go out there and go to Miami, man. We never really play good on the road when we go out there to Miami. But I just feel like the Saints are going to lose this one. Not convincingly. I would love for us to win, but if I want to be real, man, I don't see us beating that Miami team with the way we played last week. Now, I got us winning if the New Orleans Saints I know show up, the consistent New Orleans Saints, right? But if this team showed up last week, just playing the Falcons, the missed red zone opportunities, leaving meat on the bone, man. Pause. I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. You're not beating nobody with the attitude they had, so they got to come in and bring it because Miami is not going to be given to them, man. New Orleans got to go in there and take it. So I got Miami as of right now. I got Miami, man.
All right, let's go on over to you, James. What do you know about leaving meat on the bone?
I don't know about all that, but I will say I think the Dolphins are going to win this football game. Like you guys said, they've had a team that's had a lot of momentum recently, and the Saints have not. So I think this is just going to point blank be I think they just have too many pieces over there in Miami. Even with all the injuries that they've had, they've still got some good pieces on offense. Yeah, they traded Jalen Phillips, but they've still got some good guys on that defense as well. And I just think ultimately, again, it's the Saints this year, and they are just not a very, very good football team. So let me get the Miami Dolphins in this one.
James is going to take the Miami Dolphins. We should put up a poll in the chat. How long will it take for Colby to lose his job as the host here at the NFC South Roundtable? Are you taking over or under here? Obviously, all jokes.
Where did that come from, man?
Exactly.
Where did that come from?
Oh my God. Roundtable. Are you kidding me?
What's wrong,
I've been trained
Colby?
for this, man. Are you kidding me? All jokes aside,
bro.
All jokes aside, Berto, what do you think about this one?
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna go with the Saints on this one, man. Of course, they struggled against the Falcons, right? One of the top defenses in the league. But I like what I saw from Tyler Shough on back-to-back weeks. The kid got arm potential, man. And it's on Kellen Moore to simplify the game for the Rook, man, and do things the right way. Get and establish the ground game. Devin Neal, I think, can pick up the slack if Kamara is out on Sunday because he did go out with an injury. Chris Olave, Jawan Johnson. You guys have some pieces there that you guys can contest and beat this Miami Dolphins team, who has, in my opinion, one of the worst tandems at cornerback. So I think you guys can go on and stretch this field on the Miami Dolphins. So I'm gonna take New Orleans in this one in an upset if it's deemed an upset.
That's the thing. Kellen Moore gotta see that, man. Kellen Moore he's right everything you said, man. Kellen Moore just has to open up that playbook and get aggressive. If you opportunity to weaknesses, man, you take advantage of it. Just like with your Falcons, man. We know that middle of the field, man. We should have been using Jawan. We use Jawan Johnson. We should have used him more than I like. And shout out to him because I've been giving him shit all year, man. And he actually showed up last week when we needed him, but Kellen Moore got to realize, man. He got to realize it, bro. He got to be a head coach. He can't be an offensive coordinator. He has to be a head coach. He has to see the entire field and capitalize on the other team's weaknesses, man. That's the only way. And I just don't see it, man. I don't think it's gonna happen overnight, man. I think that's something that he has to really sit down and include in his football philosophy, man. But we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, I'm not
Saints
trolling.
fans.
I'm not
Saints
trolling.
fans can no longer hate on Berto. He picked you
No, they
guys
say
to
that I'm
win.
trolling. I
We'll
sincerely
see.
mean this,
That's
man.
Berto, that's reverse psychology, bro. I'm not falling for that. You gonna pick us to win, and then we lose. Y'all should have won. Y'all know y'all should have won.
Yeah, Berto's gonna be sitting there next week like,
God.
oh man, they lost. That's crazy.
I really thought they
That's
could win this
crazy.
game, man.
That's
oh
crazy.
my gosh, man. You guys
What?
gotta sell
What?
house now. Berto, man, I've taught
crazy.
you well. I've taught you well, man. Absolute
Oh, man.
masterclass, my friend. Really proud of you. Really proud of you. But hey, guys, look, that is going to end it all for today's show of the NFC South Roundtable. A little bit more chilled back, laid back show, throwing out jokes, not as professional, but you know what? Missing half the cast, and it's the holiday season, man. We're just trying to have some fun, entertain you guys, and feel good. Let us know if you guys are traveling this holiday season in the comment section below. Where are you going? In fact, are any of you traveling right now on the road, listening to the NFC South Roundtable? We would love to hear from you guys. But of course, as always, happy holidays. We appreciate you guys for watching. Stay safe. Leave a like on the video on your way out. Really help support us here at the NFC South Roundtable. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to join the NFC South Roundtable and Roundtable Sports family. Subscribe to these guys' individual channels. Links in the description box below. But until next Tuesday, same time, same place, I am Colby Cochran, host here of the NFC South Roundtable show brought to you by Roundtable Sports. We will see you guys next week.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.